And all you gotta do is bring your chin up a little bit. Oh, there you go. The biggest thing we talked about was your headaches and migraines, right?
Yes.
And you said it's mostly on the right side?
Yes.
Okay. Can you point to usually where you feel them at? It's more
like my temple and sometimes like into my eye.
Okay,
as well.
so more so closer into there. Okay.
Yes.
Now the carpal tunnel, you mentioned that you also get that on the right side as well.
Yes.
Now I know you said migraine, carpal tunnel. Do we get neck pain as well?
Yeah, not so much pain, but I do feel like the kind of tension and
Okay. Some tightness and tension within the neck and the shoulders here.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. One thing that we may have mentioned last time is I know when we were looking at your spine, this area right here, it's got a lot of stress within it. You got that swelling that's kind of developing here. And so this is where what we talked about with your spine and the x-rays, how you've lost that curvature, but you have that reverse curve going on here. So there's a lot of stress down at the base of the neck here. Okay.
Right.
So we're gonna look at that. And then the last thing, I know we talked a lot like the mid to lower back pain. Where do you feel that at in terms of that?
I would say like kind of at the very base.
Okay.
And then also sometimes like just kind of right in the middle.
Right in
here.
this area.
Yeah.
Here. Okay. The way that your spine has really straightened out quite a bit, there's really two major reasons why that could happen. One, it could be, like I said, from a trauma, an accident, whiplash injury, or anything like that. But then the second thing is really, I would say probably the more common thing is just more of our postural habits. And it's unfortunately more specifically, we're starting to see it more in kids because of the technology.
Right.
Now, if you're a very studious student and you're studying and you're reading a lot, and your head is looking down quite a bit, that can put a lot of strain onto the neck here. Now, unfortunately, with technology, people are on their cell phones for hours, unfortunately, per day. And that can also train your muscles and your ligaments to tighten and also straighten that neck as well. And not only straighten it, but they'll consider it more like a reverse curve. So instead of your curve going this way, it'll actually change the curve and go backwards. And so we're starting to coin that as a text neck within the chiropractic realm, just because unfortunately that's just one of the biggest contributing factors to that reverse curve. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I got my bachelor's degree, I got my master's degree, like, there's a lot of school, a lot of reading, a lot of computer time, and then, my profession now, I'm still doing all those things.
On the computer,
on a
reading,
almost daily
studying.
basis, so.
Yeah, so that's probably the biggest thing. So this is where, like we talked about before, like we can do the adjustments, we can start getting things to move and start to function a little bit better, but there's going to be some part on your half or that you really will have to watch out your habits.
Right.
Because a lot of the stuff we can do some great adjustments here. So sometimes it's good just to have one of those sit to stand desks, because you can change it and you can move the positioning of it. But even when you're sitting, you can set up your computer and the ergonomics so that it's more friendly to your spine.
Right.
So we'll walk through that stuff later on.
Okay.
First things first, I'm going to push in right in here. So this is your L5, 4, 5.
Yeah, 5.
And we're at 5, right?
Yeah.
A little bit higher here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here's 12, 11, 12, L1, 12, 11. Any sore
11 and 1, L1, yeah.
11 and 1
Both
there.
are a little tender.
3, 2, 1. I'll lean you back just a little bit. 1's moving. Okay, 12.
That one is,
That was going to say 11. That's where you're not moving too much on there. So here's C6, C7, T1. 6, 7, 1.
C7 probably the most tender
7
of
a little bit more.
those.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 7 is that one that we talked about earlier where it kind of closes back down on there. So I think we are going to work on 7. We will need to work on the upper neck eventually. Yeah, but that 7 I think is going to be the one that's going to really be the one that benefits you the most. I don't want to twist and crank on your spine. That's not what we're doing. We're not doing like a pretzel kind of thing. What I do is I'm going to roll you as a unit. I won't drop you, so don't get too fearful of that, okay? So I'm going to roll you just a little bit here. Right there's perfect. Now I'm going to stabilize your pelvis so that it doesn't move, so I can just get that L5 to move, okay? With the shoulder, I'm going to move this up just a little bit, just to get that joint to isolate just a little bit better. I'm going to get a little bit of a push right there, okay? So relaxing the shoulder. There you go. Dropping the shoulder. There you go. There it is. Good job.
Okay.
Not too bad?
Yeah, not too bad.
Face down here, hands right down to the side.
Okay.
Perfect. And let's go ahead and bring the hands right there. It's going to go down nice and slow, okay? So hands down to the front.
All the way
right
down?
Right there, just like that on the floor. We're going to start off with T11 here. This one might be a little sore, okay? But if we can get some movement in this joint, that will start to help out with getting this to start to flatten out a little bit, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 10, 11, 5, 4, 3, 2, 11. There you go. All right, breathing in and let it go. Just let your belly drop into the table, relaxing right there. Nice job. Oh, that was a good one. You okay with that? All right, good. We got one more in the mid back, okay?
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 right here. Good. Nice work.
I don't even know how to explain it. It just feels kind of like a little bit of weight has been lifted.
Yeah. So, just like I mentioned with that T11, the one in the lower back, you might feel a little soreness with this one as well, just because that reverse curve, there's a lot of tension. Okay, so let's see if we can get some good movement on here. And just like you did with the lower back and the mid back, you've been doing great. So just keep on just letting your body relax. And the more relaxed you are, the better these adjustments will become. So with that one here, that's the C7. Relaxing the chin over. I'm gonna let your head just fall over to the right side. Perfect, right there's good. And you're just gonna let your shoulder relax on the right side. There you go. And all you gotta do is bring your chin up a little bit. Oh, there you go. You did good. I'm so proud of you.
Okay.
Deep breath for me. So just let that sink in. But really, that moved really great.
Yeah.
You did so good. I'm so
All right.
proud of you.
Thank
All
you.
Right. So let's talk about what we did. So the first thing first, we did your L5. This is the one where it's kinked this way and it's sending your spine over to that side here. The other one we did was that T11. That's one into that mid to lower back here. This is the one where your spine kind of kinks this way. It kind of has that sway back posture here. It's putting a lot of stress into here. The other one is that T5. That's going to be this one where your spine's going over to the side here, and then it kinks this way. The last one was your C7. This is where the base of that spine goes backwards like that, and it's kinking the spine into that lower part of the spine and the neck here. Okay, so we're pushing that spine forward, trying to get that reverse curve to start to open up a little bit to see if we can get some pressure off of the neck. But eventually, we want to get that pressure off of the muscles so that can relax this part. Eventually, we'll start to work on getting those migraines to relax as well. Okay?
Okay.
All right, so with that,
That's good.
how are you feeling?
Kind of like tingly.
Mhm.
I mean, I don't know if that's the right word to use, but
that's okay.
yeah.
Whatever you're feeling. I'm just kind of finding out.
I mean, I don't know. Is it like, it feels like, kind of like, like more blood flow, more.
Yeah, so think of it like this. When that pressure has been on that nerve for so long, and then we start to open up that space. Have you ever had like your leg fall asleep?
Yes.
And then when you finally, like, let's say you're sitting on your leg or something like that and it falls asleep. And then when you're actually trying to get it out and get it to wake up a little bit, you feel like that tingling sensation. Almost sometimes, I've had it where like, you try to walk and it's like, oh, we can't walk on it.
Right.
Sometimes it's just because your nerves are starting to wake up. I want you to start walking for me.
Okay.
15 to 30 minutes every single day.
Okay.
Just because I want to get movement in the spine. So now that we're getting functioning and movement into the joints, now the walking allows that process to continue. Okay, so your body's been stuck for such a long time. As we adjust those joints, now the body's going to uncompensate all that stress that's been developing over the years. So walking is going to be the best form of exercise. The next thing is if you are feeling any soreness, because we got some movement in the spine. So think of it like working out. When you exercise and you're working out, like, oh, I'm really sore. That can happen. Okay, so just let that process happen. But if you do feel any soreness, make sure you're icing for me.
Okay. So like on that area.
The areas that you feel any soreness,
Okay.
so that lower back, you might feel some soreness, that neck especially. But sometimes you'll notice that because we worked on that lower back, you might feel that some of the pain down here might move to the left.
Mm.
It might move to the right. Your body is now trying to undo some of that stress, so your body needs to adapt to what's going on. It's been compensating for the years, so now it's trying to undo all those compensations. So the pain might move, it might shift, it might change. Okay, so icing is going to be the best thing for you.
Okay.
And then the last thing is going to be your water intake. How's your water intake?
I drink. Yeah, that helps me drink a lot.
Okay, good. So keep doing that because it
Okay.
helps to lubricate the joints, it helps to flush out the toxins. Okay.
Okay.
Any questions for me?
I think that's it.
Okay,
Yeah.
we'll be giving you some exercises later on.
Okay.
But the first thing is I just want to see how you're doing with the adjustments.
Okay. All right.
You're all set. We will see you next time. And
Okay.
then until then, you did good. I'm so
All right.
proud of you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, my pleasure.